Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Chamber Connections with the White House Area Chamber of Commerce. We're happy to have you join us today. We are going to welcome in just a few minutes our newly named Fire Chief, Patrick McLaughlin, who has been in this role interim for several months and official for a little over a month or right around a month. So we'll be welcoming him soon. But first, I want to talk to you very briefly about our challenge that we have going on, and it is design a t-shirt. It is a chamber challenge. You can do it by yourself, you can do it with your family, you can do it with your friends. We'll be giving away a couple of taking care of small business t-shirts from our friends at Ink and Screens, and when you win, you get to decide what other small business you want to support, because we'll be making a donation to them as well. And then there's a really good chance that we will take one or two of those t-shirt designs and create some t-shirts to have available at the chamber. So you could actually see your design in print. We are excited about that. And I want to remind you all too about our senior showcase. We are going to recognize your seniors and put them up in lights on the billboard in town. If you've got a senior that is graduating from high school or college, we know they've kind of gotten a bum rap this year. We want to showcase them and show them some local love. Tal Plumley, our Farm Bureau insurance agent, is partnering with us to make that happen. So send a picture of your senior to seniors@whitehousechamber.org. And in just a few days, we will be putting those seniors up and recognizing them for all their hard work this year. And one more thing, just to remind you, please fill out your census. It's very important. We get a lot of funding we get funding based on your answers to the census. So it's very important that every person in White House is counted. And Chief McLaughlin can attest to that, because that funding goes to fund clinics and fire departments and schools. Very, very important. So at this time, let's get Chief on the screen. Hey, Chief.
Hey, Mandy.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
We are doing great, or I'm doing great. Megan's doing great too. We miss Megan. Megan has a new puppy at home, and so she is enjoying being a puppy mom in addition to having a 1-year-old dog. So she is doing a lot of potty training and teaching her not to eat her arm right now.
Okay. Well, puppies are fun.
Puppies are fun, aren't they? I see that you have not a puppy, but you have a companion named Bruce.
Oh, yeah.
Who keeps you entertained and does a lot. We have a dog named Robert, and people always think that it's kind of strange. You talk about Robert, who are you talking about? And I feel like you probably get that with Bruce a little bit too.
Yeah.
It's not exactly a dog name.
Yep.
So, well, we're very glad to have you here with us today. So tell us, how long have you officially been the fire chief here in White House?
Ooh, I think a little over a month. Yeah, a little over a month. I was interim for about a month, and then I was made official. I believe it was somewhere around the beginning of beginning of March. Yeah, I think March.
Right, and because of COVID-19, your pinning, official pinning, has been off a few times. Once we get back to some normal business, we'll be having that for you, right?
Right. Well, we'll also be promoting or pinning our new assistant chief, a new captain, as well as a new firefighter. All at the same time.
That's exciting news. Yeah, that's great. We always like to see that leadership. Those people go up in the ranks is always exciting. Tell us how long you've been at the White House Fire Department, and give us a little background on your experience.
So I started with the White House Fire Department in 2010 as a firefighter. Spent most all of that time up at the Station 1 across from Sonic. Had a lot of fun, ran a lot of calls, met a lot of people. And then I guess it was last year, about around this time, when the assistant chief's position came open. Chief Palmer, who had been with the department for 30 years, had retired, and assistant chief then, Rico Bryson, was promoted to chief, and I was promoted to his assistant chief, which was a big jump for my career. And then, of course, Chief Bryson left us for greener pastures, and I was offered the opportunity. So we've moved. There's been a lot of movement in the White House Fire Department. We went years of things being the same, and all of a sudden we're on a roller coaster ride of changes, and we're about to go. Well, it's a good roller coaster ride. It's been interesting. It's been fun. A lot of the guys have been working real hard in their training because they know that those opportunities are coming up for them to possibly advance. But one of the things that my predecessor wanted to emphasize is he wanted everybody to be excited to come to work, and I think we've accomplished that. I know I'm excited to come to work every day because you never know where we're going to be, what we're going to be doing. It's just been fun. So it's exciting times.
I would agree. You guys have been great partners for us at the chamber. Before COVID, we had handshakes and high fives, and it was always exciting to see the fire trucks pull up and be able to welcome those students to school. Obviously, now we are not doing any handshakes or high fives because we are socially distancing and no contact. But one day, hopefully, those programs will resume, and we'll have you with us at that. But you guys do a lot of things within the city, a lot of community outreach. You make your stations available for tours. You make the trucks and the firefighters available for tours. And I know that you partner a lot with the farmers market to do special things there. And we work together on a lot of our events. So it's great to have a community who works together and, builds each other up. And you've got some great firefighters there on staff. They're always willing to lend a hand. And so tell us a little bit. Let's go take it there. You guys have adjusted some of the ways that you respond to calls and your availability because of COVID-19 and what's going on. So tell us a little bit how your calls are different than they were a few months ago and some of the precautions and things that you're doing within the fire department to keep your firefighters safe, but also to keep the public safe.
Okay, so nowadays, everybody that gets a cough or has any kind of symptom, they'll think, oh my gosh, is this COVID-19? Well, we have to assume that as well. So we may be keeping our distance. We may not be making first initial patient contact on certain calls. We've had to really stop and think about, okay, is this person legitimately possibly got this virus, or is it seasonal allergies? We have to take all that into consideration. We've had to issue more PPE, masks, gloves, gowns, Tyvek suits, eye protection, all that stuff that everybody's reading about on social media and the news and TV and all. But it's just really made us take a step back and stop and think, okay, could this be someone with the virus? And then we've rewritten made a special protocol for responding to suspected COVID-19 cases. EMS has done the same. Some fire departments have stopped running medical calls and just said, if EMS needs us to call us. We have not gotten to that point. I hope we don't get to that point. There's too many what ifs of situations where the fire department could potentially save a life because of the equipment we carry, the medicines we carry, that we can get it to people faster than maybe the ambulance can at times. So we don't want to get to that point, but it's been very interesting, and it's been a challenge.
So that's one thing that people may not realize, that as the fire department, you guys respond to just about every call that comes in, whether or not it's a fire. I think people think, oh, the fire department, they respond to a house fire or a business fire, but you guys respond to medical calls, accidents. You guys are a lot of times the first people on the scene, the first responder from an emergency management standpoint, because you've got both of your fire halls, one at either end of the city, and you've got that boots on the ground response a lot faster sometimes than the ambulance, who may not be at just the right place. So tell us a little bit about that too.
So the call volume is kind of staying the same. We're showing different call types. We've not shown as many vehicle wrecks, but we are having more medical calls, just because people think they've got some shortness of breath or a cough. They think that they may potentially have it. And most of the time they probably don't. Obviously we can't test for it. The hospitals do the testing for it and the health departments, but it's just, we've gone from different types of calls to others where people are home. Something we've seen a huge increase on is our burn permits. We had a nice weekend, I think a couple weeks ago, where we had more burn permits in the weekend that I'd seen in a whole month for people who are cleaning up their yards and want to get rid of some yard waste. So it's things haven't slowed down as they've just changed directions, I guess.
Sure. And I think that's the case for everybody, businesses and personally alike. Like you said, this safer at home and shelter at home has encouraged some people to venture outside and do some more yard work and finish checking off the honey-do list and things like that that need to be done, so that they probably can socially distance from their family, and also so that they feel like they've accomplished some things during this time that's a little bit different for everybody. But we are getting closer and closer to what we hope will be some lessening on our restrictions, and we'll be conducting business a little bit differently, but we'll start to see some things opening just as spring gets here. So hopefully our businesses will be starting to open back up and conduct business again. I know that you guys do a lot of maintenance and your engines every day. You do tests and and so tell us a little bit about what you do on a daily basis at the fire hall.
So on a daily basis, at shift change, which is 7 o'clock in the morning, the guys will come in. They'll usually get a rundown from the off-going shift of things that have gone on, maybe things that need attention, or just a little bit of a breakdown of their shift and how it went. And then they go out to the truck bays and they'll pull the trucks out. You'll see them about between 7 8 o'clock in the morning. They'll have the trucks out, they'll have the lights on, they'll turn the siren on, they'll turn it, they test everything. They look at our air packs, they check fluid levels in the engines, they check the water level, they check the pumps, they check the gas powered vent fans, chainsaws, you name it, it's on there, they check it. And then we have yearly inspections of different things. Something that you'll probably see us out doing here shortly is the guys are starting to do our fire hydrant maintenance, and that's an annual thing. They'll make sure that the caps are free. They'll check the threads on the caps. They'll make sure the water actually flows out of it. They'll flush it out, which is interesting. It's dirty water that's just sitting there that they flush it out. And then if they need to do like weed control or paint them, they'll do that as well. This year they're going to be doing the flow tests, so you'll probably see them out with multiple hydrants on, trying to figure out exactly what the capacity is for those fire hydrants. So.
Okay, great. Well, it sounds like you guys stay busy so that you can be readily available when a call comes in and ready to serve the community. Do you have any plans or any vision, 2020 vision, since you're newly appointed, that you want to talk about, or are you got things in the works?
Some things in the works. We want to increase our staffing. As the city grows, we need to grow with the city. It's just a natural thing of any city that as the city grows, you've got to keep up with the demand, and with more people moving here and more homes being built and businesses coming in, we're going to have more people here, more calls for service, and we need to be able to keep up with that. So that's really where I'm wanting to go right now, is increase our staff, and then eventually one day we'll hopefully get a third station when we see a little better where that growth is going to be. Yeah, that's where we're at.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, thank you again so much for joining us. Do you have any parting wisdom or anything that you'd like to convey to the citizens in the White House area?
Stay home, stay safe. We hope you don't need us, but we're there if you do.
That's right. Do you want to give the non-emergency number for people to call? Do you have that?
Yeah, the station non-emergency number is 615-672-5338. And if you call during normal business hours, we can assist you with getting burn permits. If it's outside of business hours, we may or may not be here. The guys may be on a call or out doing something. But you can call and leave voicemails, and we'll help you any way we can.
Thank you so much. We appreciate all that you and your firefighters do for the city and the community and the citizens in our community.
Thank you.
What you do does not go unnoticed. You guys are frontline heroes, but you're heroes every day to us. So thank you so much for joining us. All right, guys, tomorrow I want to tell you who we are going to have on. It is our good friend, Tal Plumley. And what you may not know about Tal, that he is a COVID-19 survivor. He was diagnosed with the virus a few weeks ago, had quarantine, and he's going to come on and talk to us a little bit about his experience, what his symptoms were, how it hit him, how it affected him and his family, just so that we can talk a little bit about that, and you can hear it from somebody that you know, because we see that a lot. People ask, do you actually know anybody who's had the virus? Well, yes, we do. And he is our very good friend. And he's going to tell us a little bit about that. But he's also going to talk to us about a program that he's sponsoring with us, which is the Senior Showcase. He is another community champion. We are so thankful to have people like Cal in our community that support our businesses, our students, just a great person to have. And so he is partnering with us to do our Senior Showcase, where you can send pictures of your graduating senior to seniors at whitehousechamber.org, and we'll be featuring those on the billboard. So please tune in tomorrow, and we'll talk to Tal. If you've got questions, he will be happy to answer them to the best of his ability. He's also a local Farm Bureau insurance agent, so he can answer those questions too. But we hope you will join us tomorrow at 12:30 when we welcome Tal Plumley.